What's up, guys? Ricky here with another review that I picked up at my local shop here, called 1313 Mockingbird Lane Toys and Collectibles. So this place is sweet. So just want to show you what I picked up. So 40 bucks, and I picked up the gold label Darkseid exclusive with the armor. So I didn't pick up the one without armor because I didn't like it as much. So I was waiting until I found this one. Cool thing is I found it in the wild today. And I think $40 is a pretty good price because it's pretty expensive right now. But yeah, it looks good. So we'll open this up and, we'll kind of see what we're looking at. Does it come with the, the spear as well? So looks like it's all intact. Looking good. Okay, so let's open it up, see what we're looking at. Okay, here is Darkseid, Armor Darkseid gold label out of the package. And this one is looking really good. So look real close. The only thing I don't like is I don't like that joint there on the head. You can actually see the ball joint. So they went really high with the armor there, which I guess they wanted to go because his neck does go pretty high, so that might be why. A little interesting choice there. But when you look at the armor, right, we have a shiny blue plastic material. And it looks like, let's see, it's kind of hard to see some of these details. It looks like it's just a blue plastic, right? So nothing special, just kind of like a metallic look to bring out the armor, right? Doesn't look too bad. What I will probably do with this is I will probably dry brush a silver very gently on it. I mean, barely any silver, just to bring out some of those textures and make it look a little more like armor. But overall, that doesn't look too bad. So it looks fine there. Right, they did the same thing on the loincloth area, or the groin armor, whatever. You have the shin guards, so same thing. So that metallic look looks pretty good. So one thing they did do, so they did a gray plastic, but it looks like instead of washing it, it looks like what they did is they did like a marbled plastic. So you have a little bit darker tones there, but it looks like throughout, it looks like they did this design where, right, you have a darker color kind of marbled into the plastic, and they did that instead, which actually doesn't look too bad, but this figure would still benefit a lot from a black wash. Looks good. And what they did is they did black wash the spear, though, which looks really good. So you can see there all those details kind of popping a little bit there. Looks really nice. And then let's take a look at the face real quick. So the face they did do a wash on, and you can kind of tell. So if you look, right, those details on the face are really popping. So it looks really, really good there. Look at that, good looking eyes. Yeah, that looks awesome. Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, looking really great out of the package. So let's get into the articulation. Okay, so here we go. So articulation, so the head looks up about that far, and this is soft plastic and rubber. So by the way, that can shift up and down. So that's kind of interesting. It looks down about that far. Right, if it looks too far down, like I said, you do get that gap back there, which does not look too good. You do get rotation, or a nice pivot, rotation. Arms go up about 90 degrees, which is nice. You do have a single jointed, or actually double jointed elbow. So that's really nice. You can get really good articulation there. You'd have wrist articulation and pivot as well, or rotation, not pivot. So not bad there. So abdomen crunch, you do have a little bit of an ab crunch, so can bend them forward that far. Bend them back about that far. If you bend them too far back, you can see it exposes that a little bit. You do get a little bit of pivot. There's a lot of armor here, and then rotation. Then the legs, you can get in the splits. Legs will go up about a little past 45. You do have double jointed, is it double jointed? Actually, yes, it's double jointed knees. So you have double jointed knees, which is nice. So don't want to force too much. Looks like it's kind of stuck there a little bit, so I don't want to force it. That one's a little more articulated. And then you have rotation, and then you do have ankle pivot, toe articulation, etc. So overall, for being a big mega figure, actually really great articulation. The only hindrance is the ab crunch because of all the armor, but you can still crunch it enough to get into some decently dynamic poses, I am sure. So we have Darkseid in the middle, and then to the right we have the Marvel Select MCU Thanos. And you can tell Darkseid stands slightly taller. It looks like maybe half a head or less taller than Thanos, so you could have a really cool matchup there. Obviously DC versus Marvel, that could be really cool. To the far left, you have the Marvel Select Apocalypse figure, which stands about the same, so it's about just a little bit less than half a head shorter than Darkseid. So same thing, you can also do a cool little matchup there. You have the DC Multiverse Mongol on the far right, which stands slightly taller than Darkseid, looks like by about half a head. Then you have the Marvel Select Hulk standing behind Darkseid, which stands almost the exact same height. So overall, I think the Darkseid fits in really well. And the cool thing is right, it's pretty close in size to Thanos and to Apocalypse. So if you want to do a cool little, a comic book mashup there, you can totally do that, and that would look really, really cool. So overall, size looks great. Okay, final thoughts on Armored Darkseid, gold label by McFarlane Toys. I like this figure. Like I said, I've been waiting on it for a while. I know they did the non-armored version that they released, but I wasn't as big of a fan of that one. I just really like the armored version, so I passed. And then, like I said, got lucky at my collector shop, and they had it for $40, and that's actually a pretty good deal. So I'm gonna, hold on to it. I'm sure it'll go up in value a little bit, but I'm gonna do a little bit of custom work on it just to really show off that armor and make it look even better. But overall, it's a sweet figure. Good paint application, good details, very menacing looking. The articulation is actually great. Only hindrance is the abdomen because of all the armor, but overall it is a pretty sick figure. So if you have the opportunity to pick it up, you can go for it. It's a little expensive right now. I did check eBay, and eBay's running a little pricey for it, but if you really want it, it's a pretty good figure. And like I said, they only made it for a little bit, so I'm sure it will continue to go up in value. So thank you all so much for supporting this channel. Like and subscribe, and we'll continue to grow this channel together. So thank you all. I'll catch you on the next video.